Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sari and this is day 6 of the Simplify Your Life Challenge for 2022. This is based on and inspired by an ebook from YouTuber Michelle, so I will link that down below. You can grab that if you want to follow along. There's more information in the ebook than what I'm including here, so I really recommend it. If you want to see this whole challenge from the beginning, there's a playlist. I'll put it on the screen and you can see why we're doing this, what this is about, and follow along with days 1 through 5. With that, let's get into day 6, decluttering your electronics. So electronics. Electronics are things that just tend to accumulate, I think, around the house. For good reason, right? We get new things. There's always the newest, latest, shiniest tech and we want to upgrade, and we upgrade, we get a new phone. We don't get rid of the old phone. We are like, oh, well, this kind of works, but I could get a new one, but I don't want to get rid of this one in case the other one doesn't work as well, or whatever. For whatever reason, we just tend to accumulate things. I myself have 2 extra laptops that are old that I just never got rid of. It actually turned out to be good in one case because I need to use the CD/DVD drive to help with this electronics declutter because I have to copy a bunch of media and my current laptop does not have a drive to do that. But for the most part, it just sits there taking up space and is not useful. We also, in this electronics declutter, are tackling media. So CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, all of that stuff. This, for me, is part of an ongoing larger project to move my things to a Plex environment. So I have some drives, I'm storing the stuff on there, I'm putting them in Plex so that I can access that media without having to have the physical media. It's a big project because I have to copy a lot of things, everything I want to keep, basically. And I had already previously copied a bunch of our music into a storage space on OneDrive, so that was easy to move over. That said, we still have a lot of CDs that haven't been copied over and need to be dealt with. The physical DVD media is going to be the biggest one. Sorting through, do we actually want to keep this? I actually already did that a while ago and got rid of a bunch of movies that I knew we weren't going to keep. Now I'm left with stuff we do want and I have to copy it into an online environment, and that is going to take forever. So we're not decluttering the physical media so much today as we are setting it aside, and we have a list of what needs to be copied and whether it's being copied and all of those things. So it's slow and it's something that I'm going to start doing in the spare time that I have, like at night when I'm watching TV or Netflix, or when I'm watching football matches or when I'm watching tennis matches. It's pretty easy to just pop a DVD into the drive and copy that into the format that it needs to be copied in. You don't really have to focus on it a whole lot. It's going to take a long time though, so we're not quite getting rid of things today in that realm, but we are getting rid of a lot of other things like extra stereo equipment. I have a record player. I have 2 record players that I never use. I do own a lot of records, but with the advent of digital music and, me paying for a Spotify subscription, it's honestly not practical for me to listen to a record. Really owning records at this point is just about feeling cooler than other people. I think because it's always going to be easier to just play something on Spotify. You don't have to get up, change the record, flip the side, all of the things, deal with the maintenance of the player, deal with the maintenance of the vinyl. It's all going to half-price books, and they actually will pay you for that kind of a lot. So if you have a whole bunch of vinyl that you're looking to not have anymore and you have a half-price books near you, highly recommend taking it over there because they will pay you for it quite a bit. So you can make decent money that way. All right, so what we are talking about today is Cords, cassette tapes. Do you have cassette tapes? I did. Cameras, lenses, hairstyling tools count as electronics. If it has a cord and it plugs in, it's an electronic. Irons, vacuums, any other radios, MP3 players, DVD players, VCR players, gaming systems, your TV, your streaming box. We have a Roku, so that counts. Tablets, e-readers, phones, headphones, scanners, printers, walkie-talkies, external hard drives, remote controls, laptops, anything with batteries, anything with lights, leads, cords, USBs, games, physical media, all of it. If it has lights, it turns on, plug it in, or it is affiliated with something that has lights, you turn it on. It has batteries, or you plug it in. That's what we're dealing with today. Step 1, as usual, is to create your guiding questions. Here are mine. Do I know what this does, or what this cord is for, and how to use it? In the case of cords, we all have that cord tangle, right? Somewhere in our house, just like old cords for things. The first step here is go through them and see if you even know what this cord is for, if you still own the thing the cord is for, if you still use the thing the cord is for, if the thing still works. Just sort all that out. And if the answer to any of those is no or I don't know, get rid of it. We take our stuff to hazardous waste in our town. There are places that do electronics recycling drop off. Do your research on that. Don't just throw it in the trash. It can't go in the trash. It has to go to a special facility. Please make sure you're being responsible and taking it where it needs to go. If you have an electronic thing and you're like, what is this? How do I use it? I've never looked at this. You probably don't need that. If it's new and in saleable condition, you might be able to resell it online. You might be able to resell it at certain shops. Like if it's camera equipment, there are secondhand camera shops. If it's video gaming equipment, there are places where you can sell that. Do some research on that too. Otherwise, if it doesn't work, throw it out. If you don't know what it is, why do you own it? Do I use this? Similar to above. If you don't use a thing, you don't need to have the thing. Resell it if you can, get rid of it somehow, or, if you really truly need to trash it, take it to a hazardous waste facility or a recycling facility. If it works and you just don't use it, you can probably sell it and get some money for it. Do I have an updated version of this? I think this is a really important question to ask yourself of things like phones, MP3 players, media players, right? If you have old cell phones, take them to the old cell phone Dropbox recycling that is at most Target stores or other stores. Electronics stores have them. There are other places you can look into in your own area. You don't need to have old phones. People will take them and repurpose them and use them for parts and things like that. A lot of places now, when you get a new phone, you can bring in your previous phone for trade-in and they will take it. They might give you some credit towards your new phone, depending on what condition your old phone is in. They might not, but at least they'll take it away and then it will not be in your house. That's recommended. MP3 players. If you have a phone that plays MP3s, do you also need to have an MP3 player? Important question. You may still say yes because your phone storage is like 20 gigs. I don't know. That's up to you to look into, but ask yourself that question. Same thing with, do you need to own a DVD player and a video game system that plays DVDs and a laptop that might play DVDs? Do you need all of those things, or can you consolidate into the one you use the most, the latest, newest thing? Just eliminate redundancy, basically, so that you're not owning 5 things that could all be done by one. Does this actually work? This goes with one of our earlier questions. If you're plugging stuff in and it doesn't even work, why do you have it? If it's broken, who keeps broken electronics? Just toss it. Electronics recycling. Gone. Out of your house. It doesn't work, you don't need it. Probably, unless you are the sort of person who fixes old tech, are not going to take that apart and salvage what you can out of it or repair it. If you are, then cool, do that and fix it. Don't just leave it sitting there to fix it someday. But probably you can just get rid of it. Do I watch or listen to this? This is a question about your media. If you don't watch it, sell it. You don't need to keep it. If you do watch it, you can consider whether or not you can get it in an electronic format, similar to what we're doing with books. If it's on a streaming service, granted, no guarantee it will stay on said streaming service. I've definitely gotten rid of DVDs because I was like, this whole show's on Netflix, and then Netflix took the whole show down. But that's why I'm copying all of my things, so that I can have access to them on Plex, so that I don't need to own even the physical media of things I do watch. It's similar to books. Moving all of that is a lot. It takes up a lot of space, and while it is less heavy than books, it's still a lot to move. And so if you can get that digitally reliably, or you can copy it into a platform where you can reliably get it digitally, copy it into a platform and get it digital. If not, and you're not watching it, get rid of it. If you are watching it and you're not willing to get it into a digital format, then you can keep it. I mean, it's up to you how much stuff you keep in this whole endeavor, but I'm just trying to help you have less of it. So those are my questions. A lot of what you will see with the media is me sorting it into some piles. If I need to copy it, then I'll put it in a pile and make a plan for how to copy it. If I don't, then I can go. I have multiple gaming consoles. The answer to, is there an updated version of this, is in fact yes. But there are some games that I play, that I love, that I want to have access to, that have not been made available on the most recent console, which means that I still need to own the previous generation console, because that is the only way I can have access to that. So I do have both a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4. The time will probably come that I will have a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 5. Do I think that's unnecessary and I hate it? Yes. Do I really wish that they would just make these games all available in a digital download that I can play on the latest system? Absolutely. Because at some point that PlayStation 3 is going to break. And then what am I going to do? All right. So now is the time that we take everything out of its space, we consider it against our guiding questions, and we start sorting. Jonas is helping me on this one. I'm going to get to it. I've removed some cords and things from here, but we're decluttering electronics today, and I just wanted to show you my tangle of cords situation. I used to pride myself on like always having a cord for a thing, which is probably still true, but like truly? Really? Can anybody find anything in here? Do I know what these cords are for? No. I was saying yesterday, and I think it was only half in jest, that I think I was going to just get rid of all of these cords, and then in the event that I need a cord for a thing, I will just go purchase it, because I truly don't know what most of these cords do or what they're for. And if that's the case, why do I have them? Also, am I going to literally walk around trying to plug the cords into things and see if they work? No. Job 1 is to extract this, and then job 2 is to untangle them all and see if there's anything salvageable in here. But really, I should just throw the whole thing in the bin to go to hazardous waste. We'll see. Here's our bags. This is recycling. This is trash. This is stuff that needs to go to hazardous waste and electronics recycling. These are our remaining cords from the cord mess that we had, plus this travel converter. And then we had 4 vacuum cleaners, and now we're going to have 2 vacuum cleaners, which is good. They were redundant. I have to get all this stuff off of these ancient hard drives and into cloud storage. And then this is a external DVD CD burner, which we don't actually need, except that we need to get all of this media somehow into our Plex, and we don't have a computer with a drive to do that, so we still need to keep that ancient thing around and hope it works. Otherwise, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. For now, this is staying, but we're going to work on transferring that. That is a bunch of stuff we need to go through still. There's video games and other media in there that we need to go through. I found that in the cabinet. We probably are getting rid of it, but I need to. There's a whole pile of like burned
DVDs and CDs. I don't even know what's on those. So whatever. And then this is the music that's not on our OneDrive, or mostly not on our OneDrive, which means it's not on our Plex. But I need to cross-reference because, like, this is on there. I know, I just looked at it, and some of this stuff is on there, so there needs to be a project to cross-check what's where, really. I need to organize this a bit, and then start working on that project too. But my goal is to get rid of this shelf, which I think I can do because I think I can move the CDs that are remaining onto this shelf here, and then this can be out of my life forever. That'll be amazing. I've cleaned off the CD shelf. Jonas is going to wipe it off so it's not filthy. And then we're going to try to donate it to, there's a place that takes housewares and basically get people that they rehomed or have helped get housing, and then they set them up with housewares and things for that. There used to be a combo radio cassette CD record player up here, and my father's old turntable that he was like, this is a really nice turntable. And I was like, yes, Dad, it was a really nice turntable when you bought it in 1976. Anyway, that's gone because I'm getting rid of all of my vinyl. The CDs have moved down here. The video games that were in here have moved here. This is now just, we're going to get a thing for the cords tomorrow, so those will get organized. And then all of this is just stuff I need to deal with to get it onto the Plex and other media center stuff. And then I need to cross-reference all those CDs and things like that. So yeah, that's that. Here's all this vinyl, which I need to stash somewhere. I might just put it back under the table where it was because I don't want to store it downstairs until we have time to take it somewhere. And that's basically it. I still have that old laptop because there's stuff on there I need. And it also has a CD/DVD drive. And then both of the drawer things in here are clean out. So my true hope, I think that the speaker whatever system is leaving. Pretty sure we're getting a new one tomorrow. Don't know that for sure. Pretty sure. So then my hope really is that like all of that can move onto this one table. It'll look ridiculous in this space. I'm not sure what to do about that. We may have to rearrange, but that's my hope, is that we can just have basically like whatever of this media that we're keeping can go in there, and then also the DVD gaming systems can go in there. Otherwise, if it truly does look ridiculous, I'll buy a new thing for it. But this is enormous and it takes up so much space. It's just like huge and lumbering and claustrophobic. And it would be really nice to have something not quite so giant but I also recognize that that is excessively tiny. And so, you know, we'll figure it out. Right now, I'm just living in a house with all of this old furniture that has nothing in it. Let's talk about that for a second. So we've completed a week of this, well, 7 days. So if you're doing it day by day instead of week by week, right, then we've been doing this for a week. If you're doing it weekly and following along with the videos, then you've been doing this for a month and a half. Right? So your feelings may be even more extreme than mine, or maybe you've dealt with it by now and are just like, I don't care, or I'm done. But it's really bothering me that all of the minimalism talk and books and all of the things say to you, well, you'll save so much money. Think of all the money you're going to save because you can make money selling your things. And then also you won't be buying as many things. So now you'll have all this money. Fam, I have to buy all new furniture or just deal with empty bookshelves. This thing right here is empty. Like there are stuff that's on the top, which is admittedly cluttered and needs to be dealt with. And then a DVD player and 2 PlayStations. All the door space in there is empty. We have this, which is stuff I need to deal with, which looks like a mess. We have this enormous bookshelf, which is empty. On the surface, my living room hasn't changed at all. It looks the same. Am I happy in my new space? No, I am not, because I have, yes, less possessions, but I still have all of these shelves and the space still looks just as cluttered because all the furniture is still here, which is giant and has all of the space to hold all the things that is not even in it. So now I just have a decorative empty bookshelf. I've been looking into this, and I mean, even just a few things, it was gonna cost me like $200. And that wasn't even trying to buy a new drawer set to put my clothes in and get rid of my dresser. It was like a new nightstand and some things for my desk, and I think a TV console thing to hold that. The chest of drawers is another $150. I don't have that much money. And if the point is I'm doing this because I'm thinking about moving, like, do I really want to buy new furniture before I move and then move new furniture? Kind of no, but also I clearly don't need the furniture that I have, except I need somewhere to put some of this stuff. So like, I could have a completely disorganized shelf that has books and CDs and DVDs and video games, and then, you know, the bedroom has 2 things on it and then a bunch of empty shelving, and it's a mess. It's just, it doesn't look good and it doesn't make me happy. I'm wondering how you all are feeling about this right now, because I'm frustrated. Ordinarily, at the end of this week of very intense cleaning, because I do it area by area, I feel really good because everything's cleaned and organized and put away. Nothing is cleaned or organized or put away because I'm doing it by category, and all of this stuff is all over the damn house. So you're like, oh, well, that goes with paper and that's tomorrow, so that stays there, even though it's on a shelf with these things. I mean, you already saw I combined the paper stationery one because that's all over the place. I don't know, like, I did all the electronics, but I still have all that clutter on top of the TV stand. My desk still has clutter all over the top of it, even though I organized the office supplies. There's the actual desk to be dealt with. This system is maybe not good if you have as much stuff as I have. I'm gonna stick with it, but I definitely am going to have to add more specific area-based organization than is in the initial challenge. And also, I'm going to have to start figuring out what to do about the furniture problem. So that's where I'm at. I'm getting rid of a lot of things, but I don't feel better. I imagine by the end of it I will, but right now, not so much.
All right, so we're back. How did you do? You saw how I did. More importantly, storing this stuff. I didn't talk about this at the beginning part, and I should have. Make sure that everything has its own designated space. If it doesn't, give it one. I had to buy a thing to put our remaining 4 cords in. We got a little cord storage organizer, and that's folded and put in the TV cabinet, which I don't want that TV stand anymore. I don't like it, but we are not dealing with furniture right now, and I can't actually find anything that's smaller that will work for me because they're all too short. I need my TV to be at a certain height just because of my back issues. I need to have my neck held at a certain angle, and so when the TV stand is only as high as my coffee table, my TV is old and does not adjust upward, so it's just there, and I'd have to stack it on top of things, and that will also look obnoxious. And I haven't found the right solution, and we're not dealing with furniture yet anyway. Even though the doors in my TV stand are mostly empty, I have a few things that are still stored in there because we're keeping the TV stand. We're keeping most of the media for now. We talked about that, my media copying project. That has to happen. So I will be working on that, and then hopefully eventually we can get rid of or at least minimize that shelf space, and maybe all of the media that we end up keeping can go in one of the door spaces or both of the door spaces of the TV stand, and we can still get rid of the shelf. I have the little blue console table, which has some things in it, which I'm hoping to move over to be a replacement for my current coffee table. So we're going to do some rearranging still. That hasn't happened. But we did get rid of a lot of things. We put a lot of stuff in electronics recycling. And now we're starting to think about storage. I feel like everything kind of has a place except for the stuff that needs to get copied, which is just miscellaneously shoved in a couple places. But hopefully that will encourage me to deal with it so that I can then get rid of it and not have it in my house. And then it's out of here and not a problem anymore. And I don't have to worry about where to store it. Did you get rid of stuff? Did you untangle your cord ball and find that you had 50 cords that you had no idea what they went with? I certainly did. Did you find anything that you can sell and maybe make some money off of? Or was it all just, nope, this is broken and it doesn't work, trash it? How do you feel? Good, bad, otherwise? Getting rid of media, it can be difficult, can be just as difficult as books in some cases. That is why I highly recommend trying to figure out if there's a way that you can copy things or get them digitally, because then you can get rid of it. And I realize there are things that are like out of print and sentimental, and I certainly have those things that are like special limited edition, can't ever get this again, that even if I'm going to keep it digitally, it's still going to be very hard for me to give up that physical thing, because it was either a lot of money, a lot of investment, very hard to find. It took me a lot of time to get. It's definitely hard to get rid of that stuff, but also there's a whole section in this ebook on something called the endowment effect, which is basically that like we tend to overvalue something when we own it. Why you feel guilty about letting something go, even though you maybe don't need it and you haven't used it and you have no intentions of using it, because as soon as you purchase it, you own it and you feel an attachment to it that others don't have or wouldn't have. Like your ownership of the thing transforms it into something valuable. And I get that, the memories and all of it, but this is where your guiding questions come in. Decluttering without the questions doesn't work because of this. It's really easy to hold on to this stuff even though you're not actually using it. In some cases, if it's rare and hard to get, you could make a lot of money for it, and someone else could have and enjoy that thing that is just sitting on your shelf, because no matter how limited edition and rare and hard to find it was, it's not actually providing anybody any value if no one's ever using it. And it could be providing value to another person in some way, and you could still be enjoying the actual property of the media. Right? You can still watch the show. You can still listen to that music. You can still have the entertainment. You just don't have the packaging. And I think we all need to step back and figure out why we're so attached to packaging. A lot of it is memories, right? It's sentimental, and I get that. But a lot of it is also, again, with books, optics, like, oh, I have a special limited edition thing and you don't. And even if we're not intentionally feeling that way, I think a little bit we're all feeling that way. And we just need to question it a little bit. I'm not saying you have to get rid of that thing. I'm just question it. Really ask yourself why you're sentimentally hanging on to something that you don't actively use. You are the only person that can answer that question. I'm just here to provide a little bit of encouragement to say, be honest with yourself and check it and say, do I truly need to have this? And what are the reasons that I'm hanging on to it? That's all. So with that, you did great today. I know it. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're not feeling frustrated. I hope you're starting to see all the empty space and empty shelves and feeling a little bit of clarity. I am not, because I still have a bunch of empty furniture. I think it'll feel fine eventually. It feels good to have less stuff, but I also know with the media properties that I still have a lot of work to do on that, and I'm not looking forward to it. Nobody wants to sit there and copy 400 DVDs into a format that you can access digitally. It's not fun, but it needs doing, and until I do it, I can't get rid of a shelf. It doesn't feel the best for me right now, but I am hopeful about the final outcome. So I hope you're feeling at least hopeful, if not actively good and kind of refreshed that you own less stuff. Let me know. Leave me some comments. How are you doing? Are you frustrated? Are you sentimentally hanging on to things? Are you feeling really sad or angry or otherwise some emotion? Is this really hard for you, getting rid of things? Let's talk. We're all in this journey together, so I'm always curious about everyone else's personal experiences with this. We all experience it differently. We all do it differently. We all approach it differently. Are your guiding questions the same as my guiding questions? Probably not. Feel free to share your questions with everyone so that we have a good basis. People who are following along can say, oh, actually, yeah, that's a really good question. I should ask myself that. Just share. Let's talk. And if you're liking this, leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you will be notified when the next video goes live. And I will talk to you all in the next one when we declutter our kitchens. Bye.